Namaskar. This is Babita Patnaik. I want to welcome all my audience and viewers to Sheila Ventures. In our program today, we have a special guest. His name is Hardik Sheoran from Bhiwani, Haryana, India. He cleared SSB for NDA from 31st SSB Kapurthala, All India rank 121 for NDA, 148 course. These are some of the verbiages that's used in Indian military and Indian defense forces. So we will find out more about these. Let me first welcome my guest, Hardik Sheoran.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello. I'm very excited. Actually, first, let me congratulate you on this achievement. I know this is a lifetime dream for a lot of youngsters who want to get into NDA, CDS, and various different forms of defense for the Indian government. It's such a moment of joy for your family and for yourself, a young 19-year-old getting into this position. So congratulations, heartiest congratulations from
Thank you
me.
very much.
Thank you, and welcome to our show. We are just going to do a little bit of conversation and understand this whole process, especially for the viewers who are interested to serve our country. So my first question,
Okay.
please tell a little bit about yourself and tell us why NDA.
My name is Hardik. I am 19 years old. I'm from Bhiwani, Haryana. And I wanted to join NDA basically because I really like the lifestyle of the armed forces. And I thought it would really add value to my life and I could learn a lot. And my mother was also in the army. She was a nurse in the army. So I also saw that lifestyle. And my brother also got through NDA. So he used to tell me about what all used to happen there, how the training was and all that. So that motivated me a lot. So that's why I wanted to join the NDA because I really liked the lifestyle and I really was passionate about it.
Okay, मेरा सेकंड सवाल आपके लिए जो सिलेक्शन प्रोसेस होता है एनडीए में बहुत ही ज़्यादा मुश्किल होता है एंड lot of kids go through a few processes and they get disqualified in SSB. I know SSB is the hardest one. तो आप हमें बताएं कि ये जो प्रोसेस का द सिलेक्शन प्रोसेस का जो क्राइटेरिया है क्या कैसे बेस होता है from the beginning till you get accepted?
Okay. Basically the process is first of all for NDA पहले सबसे पहले एक written exam होता है. It consists of two papers. First is for maths. Second is GAT, which consists of all other subjects such as geography, history, and science, English, and current affairs. So first is the written exam, and एक बार written exam clear होने के बाद there is the SSB. SSB interview is a 5-day long process. सबसे पहले दिन होता है screening. The screening stage इसलिए होता है so that they can select the potential candidates because running a 5-day long process for so many candidates is not possible. So they just try to weed out the candidates who they think are more probable to get selected. So after the screening process, generally 50 to 60% of the students are screened out. Screening process consists of two tests. First is the OIR, which is the officer's intelligence rating test. It consists of reasoning questions, and there are again two papers. And the time limit depends upon the number of questions. Generally, there are 35 to 40 questions, and double the time. Sorry, half the time in minutes. And after that, OIR के बाद the main test is there. OIR is also important, but the second test, which is the PPDT, is considered somewhat more important. It is the picture perception and description test. So इस test में होता क्या है? A picture is shown to every candidate like in a hall, and for about 1 minute. After for 30 seconds, and after that everyone is given 1 minute and a blank sheet of paper, and in that there is a rectangle drawn. So when everyone gets 1 minute to describe the picture, In that, one has to just not like give entire details. One has to just mark the main characters which he or she first saw, and tell their age, mood, and that's all. So there's 1 minute for that, and then there are 4 minutes in which one has to write a story based on that picture, like based on what he or she perceived. So this is after that, candidates are divided into groups, generally 7 to 8 candidates per group, and हर एक ग्रुप को डिस्कस कर सबसे पहले हर एक कैंडिडेट को ग्रुप में नरेट करनी होती है अपनी खुद की स्टोरी, एंड नरेशन के बाद everyone has to discuss the story and arrive to a common story, like a common story बनानी होती है, and then the group nominates anyone candidate, and he or she has to give out the common story. So it is a fairly simple process. The problem is that OIR is there's nothing complicated about that. You just have to practice reasoning questions, and if your reasoning ability is fine, you will score good. PBDT, there's the complication is that many people go to coaching academies and they overdo that. Like they prepare a lot of stories, they practice a lot of pictures, and what happens is many of them write preconceived stories. They do not write what is in their mind. So this does not allow the assessors to see their personality. So this is one of the major mistakes. So I'll advise not doing that. Be yourself. That is very important in the SSB. After that, the second is psychology tests. So psychology tests, first is the TAT. TAT is somewhat similar to PBDT. The only difference is that 12 pictures are shown one by one, and one has to only write a story based on that picture. There's no discussion or narration, and no describing the picture, just one story. So 12 pictures are shown one by one for a minute, and 3.5 minutes, or I guess 4 minutes, are given for each picture to write a story. The last slide, the 12th one, is a blank slide. So one can write anything, any story which comes to the mind. So this is the TAT. After that, there's the WAT. In WAT, 60 words are shown one by one for 15 seconds each, and one has to write a word, write a sentence on each word, or as many as possible. Like one can miss a few words. Even I did miss 2 words, but that does not matter. It is just that and the time given is fairly less, and that is important, because if a lot of time will be given, then one can think like a really creative sentence, like a really good sentence, and be really crafty. So that is not allowed. Very less time is given, so that the person writes what has come to his or her mind. That is very important. And after that, there's the SRT, situation reaction test. In this, booklet is given with 60 situations and 30 minutes to write reactions to the situation. So in this, there's a booklet, so many times candidates lose track of time. Even I did that. So I could write fairly less reactions, and also I was writing really lengthy ones. So I could do only 26 out of 60, which is really less. But the thing that matters is that the reaction should be fairly good. It should be logical. It should not be like doing something which is not practical. So that really matters. And after that, there is the final test, which is the SD. It is a self-description test. So in this, 10 minutes are given, and one has to write about himself or herself in 5 paragraphs. First is what the person thinks about himself. Second, what the teachers think about that person, teachers or employers. And after that, the friends, parents, and the last one is what what the person would like to improve in himself or herself, or what kind of person he or she would like to become. So this is the second day. Then there are, on the third and fourth day, there are the GTO. This is the GTO. So these are group tasks which are conducted outdoors. So there are 2 rounds of discussions. In these discussions, no common story has to be built. It is generally about a topic, any current topic. It could be anything. So, for example, my topic this time was about the Russia-Ukraine war. Like, how does it affect India? Who is affected more, India or a few other countries were also given. So, such topics are generally there, generally related to the current affairs, like the burning topics. And after that, there are other tasks. Some physical tasks are also there. Uh, Out of that, two are in which one has to really have some physical fitness. That is important. Like in the individual obstacles, there are 10 obstacles and 3 minutes to complete as many as you can. Like many people are not able to complete 10 of them, 10 out of 10, but still get selected, and many are able to do extra, like you can repeat once you complete all 10, but still do not get selected. So what this implies is that physical fitness is important. It will definitely help in your selection, but it is not the sole criteria. The main thing is your personality. So if that is fine, then physical fitness can be improved over the years, because there are 4 years of training.
Yeah.
So apart from that, there are other tasks such as the the PGT, progressive group tasks. In this, the candidates are divided into groups, and they have to use certain equipment such as ropes and planks to get through certain structures. Like touching the ground is not allowed, and touching red areas is not allowed, and there are certain rules, and following that, one has to get through the structures and obstacles, and they have to coordinate as a team. So in this also, it is important to work as a team. Like many people often place themselves above the team, which is not a really good idea. So one is to work as a team and give logical ideas. So this really helps. And anywhere between the third and fourth day, there's the interview. In the interview, it is just like a normal interview. One has to go, and there's an interviewer. Generally, it is a colonel ranked or brigadier ranked officer. And after the interview and the GTO is done, on the fifth day there is conference. Conference is basically just just to finalize things. Most of the candidates have already been assessed thoroughly, and the decision is already made till the conference that they have to be selected or rejected. So they are just asked a few basic questions, and then they are sent their way. And there are some candidates about whom there is doubt to select or not to select. So in the conference, the assessors clear their doubts. They ask questions regarding the area which they would like to still inquire about. And so this is the conference, and after that the SSB is over. Once someone gets through the SSB, there are the medicals. So medicals are there, and if one meets the standards, then it is all good. And if there are some temporary problems, for example weight, which can be reduced, then he or she is given temporary rejection. So like even I got a temporary rejection for low heart rate. Though it was not a major issue, I later on went for re-medicals at Delhi base hospital. So they just asked me about what all physical activities I do, and then they told me that okay, if you do a lot of physical activities, then heart rate generally becomes low. For example, even in athletes. Yeah. So they considered my point, and I got through medicals also. So this is the process to get through NDA.
So let me, first of all, let me thank you for detailing these tests, because I don't think students, even potential candidates know. And maybe they have preparatory courses where they talk about all this, but just to get the first-hand information about such detailed information, that is going to be very useful for people who are going into this program, and to understand that there has to be a balance, right? There has to be a balance between putting your team before your capability, which you said, that you rightfully said. The second thing is you have to have a balance between physical and mental ability to decipher the questions. What I really liked is how detailed they are about your perceptual skills, your problem solving skills, your creativity, your expressive skills. They go into the whole 9 yards of screening you. And so आप हमें बताएं कि इतना सारा चीज जो आपको उन्होंने टेस्ट किया. I know you are very lucky that you have a brother who can guide you, but normally for people, do they have certain prep courses जो आप करते हो before you apply, or when do you actually start studying for this or preparing for getting into the program like this, so which is so gruesome in terms of screening and select in this selection process. So when do you start? Kab aap kaun se standard se aap sochte ho, or what does it take to be successful as in how you
Okay, to understand that, first we have to get to know about कि उन्हें चाहिए क्या आपसे, like what do they want in you, what are they trying to see in you, like what are the qualities and they want in you. So basically the thing is that many candidates get too much focused on preparing for the SSB itself, which is not very optimal. Actually the thing is they want just a normal person who is all round and good in all aspects of life, not like very excellent. He's fairly good in all aspects of life. He's morally upright. He can he has common sense and can do solve basic problems. He's physically not like very exceptionally fit necessarily. Like if someone is very fit, then it can be a plus point, but it is not necessary. And other things such as like one if anyone is a normal person who has a motivation to join the forces, then that is enough. So the problem the mistake which most candidates do is they take too much courses. Like taking a preparation course is not bad. It's not a bad thing. Even I took a preparatory course from a coaching academy. That is fine. But do not get too fixated on that. Just be a good person in normal life. Be good to others and try to focus on improving yourself and know all about yourself. Like self introspection is so important, and improving oneself also is very important. For example, someone who is very capable, very physically capable, could still not get selected, and someone who is fairly unfit but has shown quite good improvement in the last few months or maybe 1 or 2 years could still get selected. So these things are really important. Then one is a good, for example, if I'm a student, then I'm a good student, I'm a good friend, I'm a good son. So these things really matter.
Okay, we're going to touch a little bit on your personal side, and I know it's very sensitive, and I feel bad about it. But then I also have to talk to the audience about the fact that life goes on, and you learn, and you just take the inspiration from every good and bad situation. So let's talk about your mother and how she inspired you. And your brother is he's already passed out from NDA, from Naval Branch. So how was he? What kind of motivation he had for you to get into this program? So kindly share that with us.
My mother was a nurse in the army. She got through MNS, which is the Medical Nursing Services, and she was a lieutenant colonel ranked officer. And she was a really big inspiration for me. Like right from childhood, I used to, as a son, I obviously I used to see how she used to live and all that. She was really a very disciplined woman, and she was morally very upright, and she was a very hardworking person too. Like she always used to put work before other things, and she was a really good mother. And she did not like tell me to join the forces, but the very way she used to be, that really motivated me. Like I used to see she was very disciplined and really capable. And apart from that, my brother, he was my elder brother, he got through NDA in his very first attempt, and though he preferred army, but his rank was a little bit low, so he could not get army. He got navy. So anyways, after my brother joined, he also used to tell me a lot about how it is like there, like how the training process is and all the things they used to learn. Like they teach you a lot of stuff. Like every day is fairly kind of different. One gets to learn a lot every day, and so he used to tell me a lot about that. So that also really motivated me, and that's the main thing.
Sorry. So I really like the way you talk about your mother. That she was very disciplined, and she gave you the inspiration to just join the armed forces, and your brother definitely helped you to figure out a way, because as you said, it's so complex, it's so difficult. Even though you make it sound like if you have the determination, you can do it. I know a lot of my friends when I was in India. Right now, I live in US, but when I was in India, a lot of my friends applied in NDA and they got rejected, whether it was the first part or mostly in SSB. Basically, that's what they, yeah, that's where they always go off. But it is, it's a very honorable thing to be in NDA, is what we grew up, and it still is. So it just fascinates me when I see kids just work for the nation. At this age, especially when you're 19, 20, and you are learning to be disciplined, and you learn to put the team before you. That teaches you so many life skills that will definitely come into your personal life when you retire and come into a civil life, or even if you stay in the same armed
Yes,
forces. It really helps. It really helps to have the teamwork. Um, my question for you is: there are a lot of underprivileged students, or a lot of kids, especially I've seen in the rural areas, when they are in the 10th grade and they want to get into the not the commissioned, the non-commissioned positions, that we just recently heard a lot about Agniveer, the program. But a lot of kids who are underprivileged, what do you say to them? I mean, how do we help them get into these positions of, even if it's a 4-year program, it still is something that will lay down a foundation for a future, which if they get into Army, Navy, Air Force, they can still come back and still have a very secure future in the society and be good, role models for the rest of the people. So what do you tell to people, especially the underprivileged kids who don't have this much option?
About the about the Agniveer scheme, this scheme was recently launched by the government, and it was basically to bring youthfulness in the army. And what this scheme is about is that there is 4 years, total 4 years, including training, which one candidate, which everyone has to, be there. So it is really good scheme in itself. It has a lot of positive points, like one can get into our army and serve the country at a very young age, as you
Yeah,
said. So
yeah.
that is really a very proud thing. And apart from that, one gets to learn a lot from that, a lot of skills which can be really important in life. One gets to learn that. So this all really helps, and plus this will bring the army ethos and other things, such as the various life skills which are taught in the army uh, to the rest of the country, which will also be really helpful. Recently, many private company owners came up and said that it will be really a pleasure to have people who have retired from
Yes,
Agnipath scheme to
yes.
be in our company. So this will really help a lot. And I think, and also there are other, if one looks at it from a personal side also, like what all benefits will they get. So that is also there is also a lot to that, like one can get a job at such a young age, which is fairly hard in such a populated country. So, and plus one can the थिंग्स विच जो जो चीजें एक कोई भी इससे सीखता है, उससे उससे बहुत हेल्प मिलती है, because in many times we see that leadership is really important. So आर्मी में leadership बहुत सिखाई जाती है, so वो सब चीज फिर सिविल लाइफ में बहुत काम आती है. So that will also really help them. And for being underprivileged, the thing is that if one works hard and one is determined to join the army, so it is very very possible, be it for NDA or be it for the Agniveer scheme. If one works hard and just works sincerely, then it is possible to get through.
Yeah, that's good. So, हर किसी को in every possible way, whether it's Agniveer or whether it's a short commission or whether it's a permanent commission like you are doing NDA, किसी भी level में मुझे तो लगता है कि हर किसी को इस nation के लिए they should serve the nation
They
for
should. Everyone should.
initial period of time, because that is what lays the foundation, and then आपका character, आपका discipline, आपका physical fitness, आपका common sense, everything is geared towards success in life. The best thing that I learned, I have to talk about my father, who was a Jawan. He fought the Indo-China war and Pakistan war. He always said that you cannot, there's giving up is not an option
Yeah, definitely
and
not an option.
that's something that stayed with me. Is any venture you go into, whether you fail or succeed, you don't worry about the results, you just put in 100%.
But
And that is the mantra that everybody teaches in management schools, but you guys get it, like literally on a day-to-day basis. And he always said, you just live one day at a time, do your best, and then tomorrow will bring the results. And these are like such important life lessons that students who join the branches of defense forces, they learn, and practically they learn that. So I'm very privileged, I'm actually very honored to meet you in person. I know it was a very you're going to go to Khadagwasala, right?
yes,
So
Khadagwasla.
tell me a little bit of, are you excited? Have you started packing? What is going on? कैसे
I'm
चल
really
रहा है आपका
excited.
preparation?
I'm really excited about going to NDA. And although till now joining should have been there, but this time it is a bit delayed because of the result of the 12th class. But never mind, it has just been delayed by a couple of weeks, and I am looking forward to join the NDA soon. And I've opted for army, so that's where I'll be going. After 3 years at NDA, I will be going to IMA, and after that I'll be joining the unit which will be given to me. So I really look forward to an exciting life ahead.
Yeah, I'm very excited. And like I said, I want to congratulate you for all the accomplishments that you have that you have had so far. And in the near futures, you will be having more and more, as you have already planned
Yes.
out, that you will be going to IMA, and then wherever you will be deployed, you will be serving the nation. So this is a small world. Hopefully, I'll meet you in person.
Yes.
And I'm very excited to meet you virtually, because I just want to add a side note. My son is also going to U.S. Navy, so it's an honor. And like I said, my dad worked for Indian Army, so it doesn't matter where you are. If serving the nation should come first,
Yes, it
then
should come first.
it's ourselves and our family.
Service before self.
Yes,
Yes.
it's always service before yourself. And I love that motto, and it has taken me to places that, especially because I come from an army ex-serviceman background, it helped. And I believe that every person, every kid should get into it. And I hope you succeed in your life as a leader. And I already see so many leadership qualities, as you are very calm and composed, and you are very sorted out. At this young age, you still where you're going, and that's the biggest thing. And all the best. And is there
Thank
anything else
you.
you would like to share or advise the youth of India? What they would do to get into your shoes?
I would just advise them to be themselves, try to get better, and just not to give up. That is these are the basic, most important things. Everything else is secondary. One has to just not give up and give their best. That is the most important thing. Whether one wants to join the army or not, that is really important. And servicing the nation is also serving the nation is also a really good thing. If if one does not want to do it, then it is up to that person. But my advice is that it will really help you a lot. Doesn't matter what your interests are, but serving the nation and getting to know more about this army life and getting to experience it will be really helpful. It doesn't matter where that person comes, and that's all.
Thank you so much. And there are a few things that I would like to end with. You said that you have to do self introspection. That's a huge thing that coming from a 19-year-old, like you suggested, everybody should do self introspection. Everybody should use common sense, which is sometimes lacking in this fast.
Common.
Yes. And balancing physical and mental abilities, you said very nicely said. And you talked about how to be disciplined, how to bring discipline in life, and how to be morally correct. So those are the things that you used in your life, and you have succeeded. And I sincerely hope everyone who sees this, they will share this interview with everybody else, especially kids your age. I call you a kid because my son is your age, so I take the liberty. But you are the soldier of the government of India, and I applaud you for that. And
Thank
yeah, and all the best. As I said,
you very
Jai,
much.
Jai Hind,
Jai Hind.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.